Welcome to another episode of the WMMA Today podcast with Drake Riggs and I, Steve King. We have quite a bit to talk about today. One Unbreakable recap with one fight, UFC 257 recap with 3 fights, some news, sad news for me. Good signing, a very good signing by the UFC, and then there is a fight to talk about, an icon that was just made, I think, yesterday or today.
Yeah, one of them. One of those.
Yep. So we will start out with the one Unbreakable recap where Mangbo beat Samara Santos via unanimous decision. Mangbo didn't get the finish like we thought.
Nope. We were a little off on that, and it's fair to say I think that an off night for her, but still a solid win. You know, it was definitely underwhelming considering the matchup and everything, but she did miss weight for this one, so she had a little bit of issues with you know, that part of things, which could be to blame and everything, but still went out there and got the win, which is the most important thing. And you know, it was a pretty patient approach from her. Not the usual Mangbo that we kind of see, but I kind of like to see that sometimes because it shows that she can fight that way and win. Of course, against an opponent who isn't, you know, the best or that she should have been matched with in the first place. But hey, like I said, win's a win, and we saw a little bit of that, you know, vintage Mangbo aggression in the last 30 seconds of this fight with the ground and pound and everything. You know, she took the fight pretty much wherever she wanted to when she felt like it, if that makes sense. Because, like I said, you know, a patient approach in this one, but win's a win, and she keeps the train rolling. What is that? 7 in a row, I think.
She's on a roll, man.
She is killing it, and you know, everybody's kind of, you know, thinking that her post-fight comments are silly for, you know, calling out Angela Lee and everything, which
but that's what she's been doing all along. So I mean, it was actually kind of expected.
Yeah. And what you want her to not?
Oh, you know, she's gunning for Angela Lee. Like, she is 100% gunning for Angela Lee.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time that she's mentioned that. As a matter of fact, she was actually mentioning vacating the belt, right? Like Angela Lee vacating the belt because she wasn't fighting or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Leading up to this fight against Santos. She's really going for Angela Lee. She wants to fight her bad.
Yeah, and she should. I mean, that's the person with the belt, and Meng is ranked number 2 in the one rankings, and you know, just continually proving that she is a phenomenal fighter, as we already knew. But of course, you want to see her take on better people, like we said, like Angela Lee, and that is a very fun matchup when it can hopefully happen. But you know, waiting on potentially that atomweight Grand Prix, which has been a bit of a mystery so far, and that's kind of a news point. I guess we should I didn't put it down, but we could mix it into right here. Apparently, they're trying to sign like one more person that they want to put in the tournament. They have 7 at the moment before starting it, so apparently they still want to do it. But they said this at, I think, excuse me, Chatri said this at the little presser they did earlier this morning. So yeah, we'll see if that happens.
Big things coming from one. Here in the United States, they're gonna do what is it, 3 shows on TNT during prime time. So for you and I, Drake, that's at 7 p.m.
I love it.
That's at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and for Alex as well. Welcome, Alex. And Moni, I see.
Oh, congratulations to Moni, everybody!
Little baby in there.
A bun in the oven.
Congratulations to Moni and Mr. Moni.
Yeah, Mr. Moan Sneaks.
But yes, one is going to be live in prime time for us, Drake, at 7 p.m. for 3 shows in April. Can't fucking wait, dude. Demetrius Johnson, Eddie Alvarez, Martin Wynn, and then Anlung Song, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Never have I been more happy to live in America.
This is great stuff. This is fucking phenomenal. Thank you, Chatry. Like it's something to get fucking money.
Of course,
So,
I would sing a song if there is there a pregnancy song. I don't know. I would sing one if there was, but yes.
yeah, I don't know.
Big congratulations to our friend Moni.
Yeah.
So had to shout her out there. But yeah, no, dude, this is great because I never get to watch. We never get to watch one live because
watch one, yeah,
like,
live.
the worst timing for me. I'll stay up for anything else, but it's like at my exact sleeping time. So I love it, dude.
It starts typically at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning for us or something like that. No, dude, it's at 7 p.m. Literally 7 p.m. That's UFC pay-per-view time. This is prime shit for us, dude. Cannot wait. I'm excited for one, man, dude. And he's still talking about bringing one to the United States somewhere. He talked about that last year, and he's sticking to it. If it wasn't for COVID, he would have been here already with one. One would have been in the States already.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see when that hopefully happens eventually. That would be really cool. Just talking about it, got to make it happen and everything. But yeah, this is nice because Wednesdays, right? So that means no interfering with. We're gonna have to move the show earlier, probably because of that.
Yeah, because it comes on at 7 p.m. our time.
Yeah. So
if anything, we can go to Tuesdays.
Yeah, very true. But yeah, I was gonna say on Wednesdays. So I like that separation because when Bellator kicks back up, whenever that might be something to talk about. Once Bellator gets back going on Thursdays, there'll be no interferences between shows and everything, which is always great. And God damn it, Alex, we're not going to talk about that.
I don't want no. See, Alex, I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of putting that on our screen.
Yeah. We talked in length about that before going on air, and that's enough. That is the last that I'm going to talk about it probably for the rest of my life. So, anyways, back to the good stuff. Yes, one championship coming to Wednesdays at a nice time for us in the States.
Perfect timing. I mean, 10 p.m. Eastern time, kind of harsh. I mean, that's, on a Wednesday, people got work the next day. For me, 7 p.m. is perfect.
Yep. That is as good as it gets. And starting off strong, of course.
Demetrius Johnson and Eddie Alvarez.
It's a smart move. It is a very smart move to do that.
Yes, it is, because they are both the known fighters here in the States. Like, Anlung Song is their best champion, the best champion that they have, but he's not the most known champion here in the States. They're opening with Demetrius Johnson, who was the UFC champion. Eddie Alvarez was the UFC champion. So, I mean, they're doing smart things. Chetri he gets hate for, the trillions of people that are watching, but he's smart. He's incredibly smart at what one is incredibly smart with what they're doing.
Well, it's a good deal too to ride off of the AEW crowd and everything, because they're doing very well right now as well, and the carryover a little bit.
I don't know, wrestling fans and MMA fans, they don't really mix, unless if it's Brock Lesnar or Ronda Rousey or whoever, Ken Shamrock maybe. But other than that, not a whole lot of pro wrestling fans. And
I don't think people watching AEW would be more inclined to, though, than opposed to WWE.
Yes, because they're more open-minded.
Right.
WWE fans are assholes and they're very stuck in their ways, while AEW is a brand new pro wrestling promotion, a year old, literally like last month or something like that. And they're doing phenomenal. They're killing NXT, which is WWE's not big not a big show, but they're a very good show. And AEW's winning the war, the Wednesday night war or whatever, on a weekly basis. So I mean, I think that TNT maybe one are banking on bringing a few viewers from AEW into watching one. I think that first show will probably be the money maker for them, if they're going to come back or not, because if they don't enjoy the first show, they're not going to come back for the second and third ones.
Right. Yeah, very true. And welcome Stamina, who just popped in right here. Good to see you, sir. But I love this comment from Alex.
As a lifelong wrestling fan, I agree WWE is unfucking watchable. I'm going back to being a closet fan. Do you watch AEW or Ring of Honor or Impact or New Japan or anything like that? Do you watch NXT? NXT, I don't count NXT as being WWE. They obviously they're owned by WWE and whatnot, but it's not the same. NXT has a total different flair. It's better in my opinion than like a SmackDown or Raw. Raw absolutely fucking sucks. Raw is terrible now, which is sad to say, to be honest. That's fucking sad because
that's my childhood.
exactly, dude. Like when you're growing up watching pro wrestling or whatever, Raw was the shit. The Rock and Kurt Angle and Steve Austin and DX, your background DX, dude, fucking hilarious. Like it was good shit. Raw's garbage now, complete fucking garbage. Whereas NXT is actually really good wrestling and they have good storylines and stuff. AEW is the same. I don't watch pro wrestling as much as I used to, just because I kind of got done with WWE. I was done with it. I was bored and it was lame. AEW's good though. AEW's fun.
Yep, I do like me some AEW. Not as big of a wrestling fan as I was in my youth and all that, but I always like to see new stuff. That is always the case. So, before we lose our entire audience talking about wrestling, as we've done more and more recently, for some reason, just kind of happens.
See, Stamina's like, what are we talking about here? Fucking some fake shit.
Yes, the Matt Hardy
multiverse.
Nope, it is on to UFC 257 now. All right, you happy, everybody? Fantastic show. This was the only good that came out of the weekend in the sporting world, so let's get into it.
How sad. Joanne Calderwood ended up beating Jessica Ai by unanimous decision. Jessica Ai was a grinder in that fight. Calderwood was better though. But you got Andrea Lee.
Oh, wrong one. I don't know how that happened. There we go.
Yeah, Jessica Ai was her normal grinding self.
Damn, over 100 difference.
She just wasn't better. She just didn't do well against Calderwood. It was kind of a boring fight. Calderwood looked good though.
Really? You thought so? I fucking really liked this fight. I thought it was very good. It went over my expectations, that's for sure. I didn't think it would
over our expectations, but we didn't have like high expectations for this fight going in. Yeah, it was over our expectations, sure. But again, like Jessica Ai just doesn't bring like joy to my heart. Joanne Calderwood.
You know that that's the same for me. If there's one person I'm pretty critical of, it has always been Jessica Ai, and it's funny because I actually thought she looked pretty all right in this fight. Like,
dude, like I said, she was grinding. Like she was literally on top of Calderwood. She, which is her game plan. That's what she does anyway against everybody.
Yeah, she made it. She definitely went in there and got aggressive with JoJo, and that was probably never going to be the smartest route because, of course, when you get in tight, then that vintage JoJo with the Muay Thai comes out, and oh boy, we saw them knees, man. We saw those beautiful knees in the clinch,
Yeah,
elbows, just classic JoJo stuff there. But yeah, ultimately, it was just like Jessica could not land enough, in counter. She couldn't keep up really with what JoJo was putting out there in that one. But I thought that she did pretty well, but I think she clearly lost every round and everything. But yeah, I really enjoyed this fight. I thought it was quite good, but a very good win for JoJo. Maybe concerning though in terms of going ahead, and it wasn't a performance that makes me say that she can be the champion or compete with Valentina or anything just yet like that. But especially because still Jessica Eye as good as better as I thought she was. But what's that?
but who can though?
Right.
Who can compete with Valentina? We say it every week, man. We talk about Valentina every week. She's far superior than everybody else in her division. She's cleaning him out.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, there are people on the rise, so we'll see. We'll see.
She's
I
gonna
agree
move
with
on
Waleed. I
before
agree
they
with
get there.
Waleed.
Yeah, the fight was it was good. It was enjoyable. Yeah, okay, I was harsh. I just I think it's the fact that I just doesn't do it for me,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of like put off by it.
Just seeing her it puts off Steve. But
So,
oh,
you know who puts me off
yes,
lately?
yeah.
Lauren Murphy and her opinions.
Oh, all right. Yeah, there was some of that happening today and yesterday, but
Dude,
I think this is a great transition because Wally, that's a great question, and I for number one contender, yeah, I absolutely agree. That was so I didn't really hear, but apparently, what JoJo was she like calling for title shot or something weird? Like, I don't agree with that. Only one win. She rebounded in this fight. Like, to think about her jumping over Murphy is pretty goddamn ridiculous. But having her fight Murphy, I think that makes plenty of sense, and I think that Lauren is down for that. And if you don't do Murphy Chukagian 2, this is 100% the fight to make, and you
yeah,
should
I would
probably
agree
do this
with
one
that.
instead.
I would agree with that, but I agree more with stamina. Murphy has no business fighting Calderwood. She either fights Andrade or she waits.
Um, yeah, it's if she wants to be smart and I guess potentially
She
wait
hasn't
for a
really
title shot, but
she hasn't really shown the smarts lately.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she's in a position if that's what you're implying, stamina is like wait for the title shot. I don't know if she's in that position just yet. One more win, yeah, for sure. Especially if it's over, like let's say Caitlin, uh, again, in a rematch. But just to wait off of like the Shakarova win, I don't know if that'll be. Of course, she has the winning streak and everything, but I don't know. I don't know. She's definitely, of course, either ahead of or right behind Andrade, depending on who you ask and everything. But
Well, I mean, if you're asking me, then I think that Andrade and Valentina should fight. We've talked about
and
this.
we already know that that's gonna happen. That's just
Okay.
the direction things are headed.
You know what a letdown. No big fights as far as the women were announced this week. They just did CP Miocic and Ngannou, and then
Yeah, we already knew about Megan and Amanda.
yeah, we already knew Megan and Amanda. I mean that's been out for a long time.
Yeah, but yeah, dropping the ball on fucking
And Riley
yeah, like we
and
talked about.
or Valentina.
Yep, yep, yeah. Strange, very strange. It's a fucking bummer. It's a big time bummer, that's for sure.
Like you would think with a Connor, all the views and stuff like that, you would think that they would want to um, pump Whaley up. She's already a star in my opinion, especially in Asia. Why not give her? Why not make the fight? Announce the fight during this probably the biggest card of the year. It's a Conor card. For the
It was the second biggest all time. Did you see that? Reportedly.
I did, yeah. I mean, Conor McGregor returns. Dustin Poirier is a big number 2, man. But Poirier, put some respect on that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I really am surprised that they didn't do anything with Whaley. I'm really
sure they would have wanted to, but fucking just those negotiations are just a hassle, I guess. It's we need that to change. We need that to change.
Yes,
yeah.
I mean, and this is exactly it. I, for one, am very dissatisfied with the activity level of the champions. The matchmakers are fucking up. Okay, so what do we think about Amanda Two Belts? Do you think that she's holding up the bantamweight division?
I'm glad you are asking this because I've seen that question floating around a little bit today and just this week and everything. And I see both sides of this. Because one, right, it's you look at who the immediate top contenders are, GDR and Holly, who she's already beaten clearly.
They just fight each other.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally agree. But then the other side of it, you can argue is, well, there's always somebody there's somebody right behind them.
There's always somebody who's next.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're ready for that or not, they're there. So it's like, but that's the thing though, is if you want to even, risk that, I guess, if you're the fighter or the promotion, but because of the state of things and where I think most people will lean towards that person not being ready, especially when we've seen the other two right behind Amanda doing just fine and kind of keeping them back. It's like,
yeah,
I wouldn't say she's holding things up because we don't have that clear-cut person right now.
Not a 135 or 145, other than Megan Anderson in 145.
Right.
I mean, there's literally only a handful of fighters at 145 anyway, if even a handful at this point. 145 has always been a joke. 135 is kind of in a slump right now. 115, 125 are very good. Those are. There's only 4 divisions. There's only 4 female divisions in the UFC.
3.5.
Okay, yeah, 3.5. You're right. But
probably less than a half.
I mean, you can't really count that as a division if they haven't even put rankings out in like 3 years.
Yep, going on 4. 4 in February.
Is it going on 4 in February?
Insane.
Incredible. That's just ridiculous. I mean, that's fucking stupid. But so only four women's divisions. Amanda Nunes is the champion in 2. She can only fight every so often. Whaley hasn't fought since last March. Valentina is the only one that's fighting as far as champions. Amanda Nunes is fighting, but she can't fight every 2 months. She had the pregnancy. She went to be a mom. Now she's fighting Megan. She was going to fight Megan in December, but she had to pull out. So it's not like Amanda isn't trying to fight. Like it's not like that she's herself holding back. It's not a Khabib or Magomedov situation where he's just sitting tight. He's not retired, but he's not vacating the belt. Amanda Nunes is active as she can be at this point. So you can't really hold that against Amanda Nunes. I don't feel. But they should make a number 1 contender fight in the bantamweight division, which is Holly Holm and Jermaine Durandamy. The winner of that fight should be next for Amanda Nunes whenever that happens in May, June, somewhere around there, July. But again, that's a long time from the last time that she fought. And the reason that these questions are being asked is because of Juliana Pena's her comments, and we'll get to that because we'll talk about Juliana Pena in a little bit here. But that is why people are asking. They're just bouncing off of what Pena has said.
Crazy. Who would have thought Pena's I'm just gonna say it, Pena's delusion would stir up things like that. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of her comment.
Pretty wild. Like if you think about we'll get to it because we're going to talk about Pena. But if you think about it, like what she's saying is pretty off the wall.
It always has been. It always has been.
Oh yeah, she's a hype machine. She hypes herself up, and I mean she sees what she sees, and it benefits her and her only.
Yeah, it's things got to move on somehow, but I don't know. I'm sure that we'll have some more clarity after this next fight, no matter the result. I still think we're getting very close to her retirement, which, that would probably be best for the division's sake, I guess, just so she's not bouncing around. But
yeah, for the bantamweight division, it would be best, but for
featherweight,
it would be done.
Yeah.
Like if Amanda Nunes retires, it's done. There is no division without either a Cyborg or Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, unless Megan takes her out. So
yeah, I mean, unless Megan Anderson wins, it's just so hard to see that because how good Amanda Nunes is. Like
right.
It's just incredibly hard to see that happening. But Stamina said Amanda didn't fight often at any point. Now she has 2. Yikes. I get streaks equal contendership, but to me, a division in which the champion doesn't fight is a shitty division. Line them up, send them in. Yeah, I mean, this is the whole two belt champion thing. We saw it with Cejudo. We saw it with Conor. Conor McGregor never defended a belt. Like as wild as that is, like it gets brought up a lot, but that's pretty fucking wild, man. That Conor McGregor was a double champion, but he never defended a belt.
Yep, he's never defended any belt, even in Cage Warriors.
Right. Any belt at all. He's literally never defended a belt.
Yeah, pretty wild stuff. But it's just hard to be fighting in 2 divisions that are 10 pounds apart in this sport. It's just a lot to ask for.
And fighters want to take breaks. I mean, Amanda Nunes is at that point in her life, in her career and her life, I guess, where she doesn't have to fight as often as these up and coming girls do. She's already established. She's the best female fighter ever. And she's closer to retirement than she is anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Couldn't agree more. But all right, might as well move along here because we do have 2 more fights on this fantastic card, you guys. And what do you know? Your boy was right. My main card picks, I actually went 4 for 4. So I know a little bit of something every now and then. And got me this one right. But
all right, so Marina Rodriguez beat Amanda Ribas. Crazy, man. The way that it ended, that doesn't even look like Ribas right there in that picture. Like that's
what a great shot that is.
That's a totally different girl.
Yeah.
But the way that it ended, like, did it end the first time, or did it end?
It should have. It definitely fucking should have.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, I don't like Herb Dean very much.
Who does at this point? Like,
I don't know how you could still defend him. I really don't. I've been saying it for a while now, but he used to be very good, but geez, man, like in the second half of the 2010s, the guy dropped the fuck off like a cliff. He's not a good referee anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of referees, Mario Yamasaki's coming back.
Yes, he wants to try and come back, but
I love it. I love that Mario Yamasaki's coming back. He's actually a good ref.
Mario.
He just lets him fucking go.
Well, that's the problem with Herb most of the time.
Herb has turned into Mario, and if there's two Marios, that's a problem.
Well, that's the thing is, I'm pretty sure that Mario is banned from the UFC. So
yeah.
if he's coming back, he won't be reffing for the UFC.
Dude, Dana White, he hates Mario Yamasaki. Like if there's any, he talks shit about literally
Him
every.
and Steve Mazzagatti, banned refs.
Yep, banned refs.
Which we don't have to get super deep into this, but that brings me to a point that I brought up after some shitty decisions and everything. But if Dana White has the ability to ban referees who are assigned by commission to work his events,
he shouldn't be.
Then why can he not ban fucking dumbass judges like Chris Lee who have no idea what they're watching?
Right.
Why can he not do this? Or Adelaide Bird. Like, yeah, if he has the power to ban refs, which are not under his dictation, why can he not ban judges? I don't get that. I would love to ask him that if I ever get the opportunity, and I will as soon as possible if I'm at a conference or something. But that's just, I don't get that, because he complains about it a lot, because like everybody does. So do something about it, man. Like actually do something, especially that, which is arguably worse than referee mistakes, right? Depending on how bad they are, of course. But
yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. Yeah, exactly. I guess it depends on how bad they are, because Yamasaki would literally let somebody almost die in there.
He pretty much let CB Dalloway get murdered like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yep. Herb Dean is kind of on that verge, because
I meant Herb. Never mind.
No, exactly. But Herb Dean is on, almost there with this. Like, it should have been finished that first time. He shouldn't have pulled back. He should have went in and finished the fight. Done.
Yeah, Amanda was lost, man. It was kind of a bummer. It was
she had no clue what was going on. She had absolutely no clue. She wanted to fight Herb. She didn't even know. She didn't even know who Marina was.
Yeah, that was bad. That was very, very bad. But it doesn't take away from
the picture where Marina was pointing at Herb.
Yeah. And then Hebus is there, just like
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's ready to fight. But she's like at Herb. She's not even looking at Marina at all.
Absolute scenes, as Moni would say, right? Is that a Moni phrase? Congratulate you, Moni, you guys. Big day for her. If you don't know the news, everybody show some love. But this performance though, that ridiculous result and everything. Thankfully, it didn't botch anything too wild, and Marina still got the victory, and a phenomenal performance for her. And it's interesting because this went pretty much how it should have, except for the knockout was unexpected and unpredictable. But if you were going to predict it for anybody, I guess you would have predicted for Marina. But we always knew, and we said that she's got the striking advantage over practically most people that aren't named Weili, Joanna, Yan Xiaonan, the usual suspects, right? She's an elite striker at strawweight who has yet to be given any problems in that department. And she did lose. Hebus beat her in that first round because of getting the takedown and everything. But Marina was actually working pretty well off of her back, and she did get put on her back. But I liked the defense that she showed in terms of keeping it in that same position of just sticking with the guard, and then landed some solid shots off her back and everything, and ended up getting up at the end of the round and all that. But she's very good, you guys. She was just so disrespected and overlooked and going into this fight, which I get it, the shiny new toy. And I think that Moni even said something earlier. shocked to realize how little higher competition she'd actually face. And I'm assuming that's about Hebus, because I agree, especially in comparison. I mentioned this last week where
all she really fought was Mackenzie Dern.
Dern, Randa.
But Randa's not like one of the best.
Right. But she experienced a very experienced opponent. But whereas Marina, she'd fought Carla. She also fought Randa. She fought Jessica Aguilar. You want to talk about experience? Yeah. She fought Tisha Torres, Calvillo. Like,
she's fought a lot of girls that are really good.
Yeah.
And she only has one loss.
Right.
In her career.
And it was to the former champ. So, right. Yeah, Marina Rodriguez is a problem. If you didn't know, now you fucking know. Like, she's
100% a problem. She's one fight away from fighting for her title.
Oh, you think so? That's an interesting.
Well, okay, so can we bring in Alex's question?
Yeah, I guess we could skip right. Well, okay, we'll do that one because he gave us 3, I believe.
He gave us 3 questions. He gave us one about Marina Rodriguez, right?
Yes. So, all right, we will skip to that. So 1 of 3 questions from Alex. His first one is Joanna versus Marina. Does that interest you? Does Joanna even know who Marina is?
Yes. Joanna now knows who Marina is. Yes, I want to see Marina and Joanna go. Yes. I'm all in on that fight. All in. Pushing all of them, all the chips in. I want that fight. I want to see that fight.
So good.
And then Marina beats Joanna and gets a title fight.
Yeah. Yep, that is very, very possible. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. The thing is, the only thing for me there in that case is like, when it comes to Joanna, I'm like, what's the status on Tatiana? Because that's the fight that I want.
Yeah, I mean,
Joanna, Tatiana.
Yes, like,
but
the thing about everybody in the top of that division is we can say we want to see fights or whatever, but we also have to say, well, what about Tatiana? She's talking about coming back in 2021 at some point. When? And against who? And how long from now? Is it in the bottom half of 2021? Because if it's in the bottom half of 2021, give us Marina and Joanna.
Yeah. And that fight, oh boy, just what a matchup that it is. And that's the thing too, is that now at this stage, like, let's assume Tatiana comes back as we're hoping, and let's say they do offer the Joanna fight to her for her first fight back, hopefully in a main event, as we would presume that'd be perfect and everything. But would Joanna be less interested in that, considering Tatiana coming off a long layoff compared to Marina, who just got this great win on a big stage? Like, that's got to be more appealing now.
Yeah, I mean, as an appeal factor, she's probably she doesn't want none of Tatiana, dude. Tatiana will fucking wreck that girl.
Well, that's what you assume pre hiatus Tatiana. Gonna see.
I'm assuming that she would do that. Yes, I'm assuming that yes, she will wreck girls again, because that's who she is. She has that mentality. She has that I don't like saying it factor or whatever, but she has that, Yeah. She's championship material. Marina is getting there. She is very fucking close. One more fight. Like I said, one more big fight. One big fight. Give her one of the top fighters in the division.
Yeah. I think that if you look at the landscape and everything too, Joanna probably makes the most sense, but it really depends on what happens with who gets the title shot, because let's assume Rose doesn't get it. Then I feel like we won't see Rose for like even longer.
For a while.
For some reason, I feel like she just isn't gonna, for maybe a month or two. Her next fight will come a month or two after that title fight's made. For some reason, I just get that feeling about it. So then, let's say Carla gets a title shot. Then that leaves, Nan, just kind of waiting. You could do Nan versus Marina, which that would be awesome too. That'd be very fun.
That's a great fight.
And
I really do like that fight as well. I mean, dude, any of the top.
Yeah, exactly. You can't go wrong.
Any of the top fighters in that division, and that includes Marina now.
Oh, yes. That's just how fucking amazing this division is, man. I love it so much.
It just keeps getting better. Like every fight that we see, it just keeps getting better and better. The division does.
Yep. Absolutely. Very good. Very good stuff at 115 pounds always. And Marina Rodriguez stepping up. You love to see it. And I don't think it hurts Hebus too much. That was her first UFC loss.
Yeah.
She'll be back. Of course it sucks, to lose that way and on that stage, but
yeah, I mean, I think that that is a tough loss for her because of the stage that she was on. She was expected to win. Marina went in there as the underdog. Like I was telling you, Marina was the underdog last week.
Yeah.
That was a smart fucking bet if you took that bet. Like 100% smart bet. I took Marina to Ribas to win that fight. But I also said, if you're betting, take Marina. Put money on Marina because that's smart. That's the smart bet. And it was. It absolutely was. I don't see how they got that wrong. They were the odds makers, the bookies, they were on that Ribas train.
They always ride the hype, man. It's crazy.
They do.
It's crazy. But,
Yeah.
We'll see if they finally learn. I don't know. That's a thing that I've noticed, not to drag on here on these off-topic topics, but like it seems like the odds makers are more just consistently showing their ignorance around the women. I think that we notice this almost every week that we're previewing, right? We're bringing up the odds and stuff. And, I like to think that we know what we're talking about more often than not. You guys tell us, but it's just like some of these things are insulting. I think Rodriguez was like minus 1,000 to get a knockout. And I was like,
insane.
Okay. I didn't expect her to get a knockout, but that's fucking way too big. Way too big of, if it was going to happen, it was going to happen from her. Like, and Hebus's lone loss before that was a knockout loss to Polyana Viana.
Yeah.
Viana, who, no disrespect to her, but like, she's not Marina Rodriguez in terms of a striker. Like, I don't know, man. They just don't do their research. I think it's just, you look at, what have you done for me lately? That's how they go about their business, I suppose. But
especially with the women, like you were saying,
yes.
I think it would be smart. It would be smart for us to gamble on just women. We can find the holes, and we can make money. Yeah. I think I might start doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, dude. Give up parlays and shit.
Yeah, give up the dudes and fucking start looking at the odds on the women and fucking see what I can do with it. But Waleed says, let's not forget Ibis still wiped the floor that far. First round.
Wipe the floor is strong verbiage.
She did well in the first round.
Yes, she won the first round for sure, but wipe the floor. I wouldn't use that phrasing. Waleed, but I will concede that yes, she did win the first round, and she will be back. But Juliana Pena is back, you guys. So we'll get into that now. The eye roll from Steve.
All right. So Juliana Pena beat Sarah McMahon via third round submission by rear naked choke, and Sarah McMahon kind of gave it away. She kind of gave that fight away. Pena did not look good. She looked decent. She looked decent all the way up to that point where she got the rear naked choke.
Man, this has kind of been, a reoccurring nightmare for Sarah McMahon in losses and stuff. Like, she starts off super strong. Had opportunities and just can't keep that same pace. Not that she like slows down either. It's just like that she gets too comfortable or something. Or yeah, I mean, what was it? I think the second round, and she gets comfortable in a position and doesn't throw anything, like no activity. Like she was in the guard, kind of messing around, and Juliana was throwing up, not really triangles, but she was moving in that position, right? Nothing was too close or anything like that, but she was threatening with positional changes of sorts. Well, Sarah was just happy to kind of just be there, and like we've seen that before, and it is so frustrating to watch. Like, over all these years where this issue, maybe mental issue that she has continued to plague her. And yeah, like you said, I think it's more of a showing of Sarah McMahon dropping the ball once again, as opposed to Juliana going out there and performing really well.
She wasn't better than Sarah McMahon, and throughout that fight, she wasn't better. At the end, she was better, obviously, because she started rolling around and stuff, and Sarah McMahon couldn't keep up for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was a weird fight for McMahon. Like, she was really good, and then she wasn't, like, very quickly.
Yeah, and that's like generally been the case in her losses for the most part. She like almost always wins the first round. Like if you look at her career, it's pretty rare that she doesn't win the first round in losses specifically. Like if you want to look back at a classic, a fight that really I think is one of the greatest out there and doesn't get enough attention, but her fight with Misha, like she cracked Misha in that first round and beat her up bad. Like was getting close to a finish a bit. I think that was when she broke Misha's orbital with that right hand in the first round. And then fight goes on, Misha's the comeback queen essentially, and turns the tables and pretty much gets top control. And Sarah McMahon is just as great of a wrestler as she is a turtle on her back for the most part. Like she did better in this fight compared to that one. Yeah. But she just struggles off of her back. And I don't know, man, it's weird. It's very sad, as somebody who's always admired her and her story and all that. But
what's happening? But I mean, I guess props to Pena for pulling off that rear naked choke.
Yeah.
That at the last minute, basically, going into the last minute of the fight. Otherwise, she would have lost the fight. But
did they release the scorecards? Because I gave Pena the second round.
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see them. So if you guys know, was that the official score? Waleed, 2 rounds to none for Sarah? Because I thought it was even going into the third, but yeah, I don't know. Either way, Bummerville, and then Juliana Pena gets on the mic and says,
and then there are her comments. Yeah, and then there are her comments, and then she doubled down today. I don't know if you saw she doubled down on her comments.
I try my best not to see.
Right. So if you guys didn't see, Juliana Pena basically said that Amanda Nunes is ducking her and she's afraid to fight Juliana Pena. She's been afraid to fight her for years.
Did you see Nunes' response?
I did. And I saw Nina Ansaroff's response as well. Saying, shut the fuck up, basically. Like, who are you? Type of thing. So Pena is she's a mouth. That's what she does. She always did that. She did that in the Tough House. She was
I don't remember it being that bad though, honestly.
In the Tough House, she was horrible in the Tough House.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't remember it. I blocked that out of my memory.
To me, she was unlikable in that season.
Yeah.
I didn't. That season is why I don't like her. And then, she's always talking. She's always talking shit to
Very
people.
Confident.
And now she's talking shit to Amanda Nunes, like she should vacate the belt. What? What the fuck are you talking about?
Did she say that she's the clear contender now as well?
Clear contender to the belt. You just beat Sarah McMahon. You didn't beat
after getting choked out yourself.
Right. You didn't beat Jermaine Durandamy or Holly Holm. you beat Sarah McMahon. There's kind of levels to it when you're going for a title contender shot. Moni says, she has always irked me. She was winning, so she got away with it, but she got gillied by GDR. I can't take her seriously.
That's the thing.
It's incredibly hard to take her seriously. Like it just, yeah, it's very hard to. She's unlikable. She's very.
That was the thing. Like when she was on her rise, like before she lost to Valentina, people bought into like some of the, exaggerated, things that she would say because she hadn't lost yet. But now that she has multiple times since then and still continues with it, it doesn't quite work. It does. And the thing is, I think she fully believes it. It's not a gimmick either. I think she's very much buying what she's selling.
Oh, she's 100% buying what she's so confident in herself. Like she really believes everything that she says, even if she's wrong. So Stamina thinks actually
it brings us full circle to the point we were talking about earlier.
Juliana says wild stuff at all times, but you know what? Give her the fucking fight. It's more interesting than anything else just now. If JoJo can get a title shot, so can she. I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm okay with the fight. Go ahead. Let her fight Amanda Nunes. Go for it. Get worked. I want to see it. I want to see her get worked by Amanda Nunes because that's what would happen.
Yeah, I agree. And Moni with some shade there. The eye of bantamweight. Oof. One Jessica I leaves bantamweight and Juliana Pena takes the role. Brutal. But Waleed suggests Aspen Ladd. Yeah, I think that's pretty logical. Of course, we gotta wait and see when Aldana comes back. Pennington, Panny wants Pennington. There's some interesting options we could go with a couple people. But yeah,
I like that Pennington fight.
Yeah, I like that one too. Hopefully we can see that one, or we will see what happens there. But it's kind of one of those cases where you can't go wrong at strawweight with how great everything is. But at bantamweight, you can't go wrong in the sense that like, fuck it, just do it.
Fucking throw him in there. Fucking we'll take any fight at this point, as long as Holly Holm isn't getting a title shot.
Stamina alludes to.
To be clear, she ain't gonna win. But if my other options are Holm or GDR rematches, kill me now.
No, we want you alive, Stamina. We won't do that to you. That would be a sad day.
Yeah, that would be very sad.
But
that would be sad if Stamina died. Yeah,
who would have thought? Surprising. And what a perfect way to wrap up UFC 257.
With Juliana Pena.
With us being concerned about Stamina, his health.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Shout out to you, man, as always. So, yeah, those were the 4 fights we had this weekend. You guys, pretty a lot of talking points, really. I didn't expect us to have all these different paths to take with those, but very, very eventful stuff going on, really. It'll be interesting to see how everything plays out, but
2021 is really looking good for the women's divisions. There are a lot of fights other than at 145, of course, but there are a lot of fights. Yeah. There are a lot of fights that we can really get like behind, like we can get hyped for and excited about, and fighters matching up with each other and stuff. I mean, Stamina. He's really, he's blushing. Oh, Stamina's blushing.
But yes, I agree. 2021 looking fun. Off to a decent start, I would say. But all right.
Phenomenal start.
Phenomenal start for the most part.
The Twitter mailbag. Back to Alex. Yeah, we already knocked out one of Alex's questions. We'll go to the other 25 that he sent.
Appreciated, sir. All right. So, question number 2. Let's see.
Do Amanda Ribas and Jessica I fight unranked fighters in their next fights?
Good question.
I think that Jessica I sure in the fuck should. Amanda Ribas, probably not.
I don't have the rankings right up in front of me, but I'm thinking for okay. All right. Jessica I have a feeling. I have a feeling Jessica I will. I think it seems like she's always fighting ranked people. Like I don't remember the last time she didn't fight.
She just doesn't go away.
She just doesn't go away.
She's still in the top 10. She's number 8.
And all of a sudden, I'm echoing. There seems like it's gone. Yeah, no, I think she'll probably fight somebody below her. I would imagine 10 to 15 range. Probably it should probably be somebody unranked, but
I'll tell you who the 10 through 15 are, and you tell me yes or no to the matchup for Jessica I.
Okay.
Number 10, Macy Barber.
Well, booked. No.
Number 11, Andrea Lee.
Okay, that one could work.
Number 12, Alexis Davis.
Booked at bantamweight.
Number 13, Talia Santos.
Oh, that's possible. That's very possible.
Number 14, Antonina Shevchenko.
I could see it, but I don't feel like it's the strongest possibility.
You know why I can see that? Because I think the UFC would want Shevchenko to beat I and go up to the top 10.
Yeah. That's true.
And then at number 15 is Alexa Grasso.
Also booked versus Macy. So, and whoever wins that one's going to jump ahead,
yes.
I think.
Yes.
So yeah, out of those, I think Santos could be the most realistic choice.
Which is number 13.
Yeah. And shameless plug, spoke with her recently, so have that coming for you guys. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, good chat with her. And as for Amanda Ribas, yeah, she'll fight somebody who's ranked, I believe.
She could definitely fight somebody that is ranked. I mean, she still has all of the hype behind her. She didn't move in her ranking. She's still number 10.
Yeah, I could see. It would suck to see either of them lose one of those fights, but I could see them doing Verna. I could see them going Jandiroba. It would be very fun, interesting.
Another Brazilian versus Brazilian fight, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, do they really want to keep putting the Brazilians against each other and knocking them? You know,
hey, they keep taking those spots, man. They got to fight eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I personally do like that fight, Ribas and Jandiroba. I don't know if I like that fight for Ribas. You know, as soon as Jandiroba gets a hold of her, it's fucking game over.
Rapsville.
I don't know if the UFC wants to do that to Ribas. They're gonna give her somebody that wants to stand there and bang, and somebody that she can take down if she wants to take him down.
And that would be Stamina's suggestion, Angela Hill.
Yep. She is. Angela Hill's at number 12 right now.
That would be a good one. That would
really
definitely be a good one. Yeah, it's another case. Like I just said, you can't go wrong. It's probably so. No matter who she gets, it'll probably be fun. Oh man, you imagine if they want to throw Kanako right up there. Could you see that? Kanako versus Ribas. Let's go.
I don't think that they'll do that. Just because one of the girls that they're trying to get behind would lose.
Right.
You know, they don't want to take the chance of Kanako losing her first fight. They don't want Ribas to lose twice in a row. Yeah, they don't want that. I agree that it would be a phenomenal fight, and I mean it would be fun for as long as it lasts. But but I don't think that they'll really want to do that.
Right. Yeah. Just kind of wishful thinking more than anything, but I like Moni's prediction.
Well, she does need a fight.
Yeah, I know. I'm dying to get some Kanako back in my life. I think she was hoping for. I think she said March when I last talked to her. So hopefully she's working on something here soon. Always interested to hear. Maybe I should catch up with her again here soon. But yeah. So hopefully that. But yeah, I think that you can't go wrong with any Hebus option, and we will see. We'll see what happens there. As for question number 3, a really easy one. Alex is bringing us Tabitha Ricci fighting at LFA 96 this weekend in a complete layup.
Vanessa Marie Grimes,
Who is 1-5, and
36-year-old, hasn't won since like 2015
wasn't her debut
or something.
debut
like that. It has been a long time.
It's
So,
pretty insane that this was made.
How fast do you think it happens?
Boy, I'll say 3 minutes. Is that generous?
It's pretty generous.
I mean, what's the size difference? Tabitha Ricci's pretty small. She's a pretty small gal, but lethal on the mat. What's Grimes' size here?
5'6".
Yeah, 5'6". But yeah, I'm gonna go with around 3 minutes. You'll get that submission as she does.
So quick.
Layup. It will be. So I like that question because it's fun and easy, Alex. So thank you for that, sir. And all of these very good, and as usual, sir. So greatly appreciate you dropping some stuff for us before going live. It's always fun to give a little bit extra spotlight there, an incentive to y'all. But now, you guys, it is news time, and that means very likely Steve rant time. If you are all aware, as I'm sure that you are, let's just get right into it, huh?
Okay, so Nika Montano is out of her fight against Carol Rosa. Jocelyn Edwards is stepping in off of a very quick turnaround. She was just at Fight Island, and now she's going to Vegas. Pretty wild for Jocelyn Edwards, but she's young and hungry.
God damn it! I keep putting up the wrong one. Yeah, no, definitely. It's great to see Jocelyn is trying to get off to a quick start in her her UFC career here, especially after a great win. And like we've said, bantamweight needs this new life and new blood, and she looked very good in that the Yanan victory, and now taking on Carol Rosa on short notice. Short notice wasn't a problem for her against Yanan, but this is a very interesting matchup that she's filling in for. Rosa, I think it's going to come down to just keeping Rosa off her for the most part. I really like the striking that we've seen from Edwards, and she's game, man. I don't think she's one of those fighters who is usually going to be in a fight no matter who she's fighting. So yeah, this is awesome to see her turning around, and not mad at the replacement, but I am quite sad about there being a replacement in the first place at all.
Okay, so Nika Montano, she's out of the fight for reasons. It's not because she's pulling out. It's not because she's afraid to fight. It's not because she doesn't want to fight. She's literally... I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to get angry.
I'll let you have the floor.
Okay, this was MMA fighting. According to sources, Montano was actually pulled from the fight by a neurologist. A neurologist pulled Montano out of the fight as part of her pre-fight medical test required to compete. The UFC's first ever flyweight champion suffered injuries from a car accident after she was rear-ended by another driver. So she was not at fault. She was rear-ended by another driver. Unfortunately, Montano was still having eye tracking issues as a result of a lingering concussion from her car accident that prevented her from being cleared to compete. She has now been sidelined for an additional 12 weeks from the exam before she's allowed to fight again. So, I saw a lot of people on Twitter talking a ton of shit
As they do.
about Nico Montano. Like Drake said, as they do. Every time that Nico Montano comes up, people talk all that shit. Y'all need to fucking shut the fuck up. All of these things that have happened with Nico Montano haven't been her fault. Like, literally nothing has been her fault. I get it. She hasn't fought. I understand. But when a fighter's at fault for something, talk all the shit you want. But don't say that Nico Montano is scared. Don't say that she doesn't want to fight. Why wouldn't she want to fight Karol Rosa? Why? She's not Valentina Shevchenko. Come on, man. You guys need to shut the fuck up. Just fucking put it to rest. Put the shit to rest. Just put it to rest with Nico. Let her live her fucking life. Do as she does. Fucking, if she fights, she fights. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Everything that's happening to her, it's just not her fault. This was literally a neurologist pulling her from the fight. A neurologist. Because
Probably a good thing too.
Well, yeah, I mean, if she can't fucking see, then if she's having neurological problems, then yeah, she shouldn't be in a goddamn fucking fight, right? Shouldn't be in a fight.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit makes.
Nico wants to make money. I mean, she needs to make money somehow, right?
Would be nice.
Right.
Sure would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, just as I said when this happened on Twitter and everything, like, just cannot catch a break, man. Or I said that to you as well in text. That's just the main thing to me is like, fuck. I saw somebody posted her like the cancellations and everything since like coming to the UFC and all that, and like, God, it is just so unfortunate because as we've said since The Ultimate Fighter, anybody who knows that she's a solid quality fighter. And like, let's see, what is it right here? Yeah, she's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 now. 7 total cancellations, only 2 UFC fights. 5 of those have come in a row. Just brutal, man. Seriously brutal. And I don't know. You just hope that she can eventually get to being active again at some point. But man, I don't know. Like, how much longer can you keep trying for her? It's like how would you not feel like, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to fight anymore? Like, it sucks. It just sucks because she had so much potential, I thought, and I know you did as well. She won her way to the title against some very notable people. She beat Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy's doing very well now. She beat Montana De La Rosa. Not too bad either. She beat one of the best flyweights ever, Barb Honchak, Roxy. Those are all pretty goddamn good fighters. And then she lost to Juliana Pena at bantamweight in her last fight. But if you remember, that fight came down to the last round as well. So she didn't get completely blown out or anything. But point is, Nico Montano is easily, I think, the most unnecessarily hated fighter of all time. And I think that Megan has been up there for a while, but Nico 1,000% takes the cake.
Well, it started with the Valentina thing. Like, people were okay with Nico obviously winning the belt, and that was a great fucking fight with Roxy. It was phenomenal fight with Roxanne Modafferi. But then, of course, Valentina came into play. She was ducking her because they weren't, they weren't fighting or whatever. This narrative of Nico Montano ducking Valentina Shevchenko was all over Twitter. Remember that? Like how fucking ridiculous that was.
Yeah, it was. They said it so much like it was fact or something. Like it was pretty much fact.
Yeah. And just because you fucking like a bunch of dumb motherfuckers think that, doesn't mean that it's fact. There's a difference between fact and fucking and fiction. That shit was fucking fiction. Fiction is fuck. Why would a fighter be scared to fight another fighter? She wasn't afraid to fight Valentina Shevchenko. And at that point, Valentina Shevchenko wasn't the killer that people were making her out to be. Sure, she's got big wins against Jessica Ai, those knockouts, but this is later on. This is way after the fact of Nico Montano and Shevchenko fighting. She wasn't that killer. She had like one big knockout at that point?
No, not really. Really, her only big knockout is the Jessica Ai one, honestly. Like if you really look at it, unless I'm forgetting one. And if I'm forgetting it, then that's not good. So it's probably just that one.
Maybe it was because she was fucking just
that Holly win really was big for people, and it was big for me as well.
Maybe that's what it was.
So, but yeah, Stamina makes a great point, and GDR I think has finally salvaged a bit of her reputation. I don't see it too much anymore, but it took her quite a while, obviously, to shake the hatred. It was tough for a while for her as well, but yeah, MMA fans are one of a kind, that's for sure.
So prior to that Nico Montano fight being canceled in 2018, September of 2018, the only wins that she had up to that point were against Sarah Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
She got that split decision. Then she went on to lose to Amanda Nunes. Then she beat Holly Holm by a decision. Then she beat Juliana Pena by armbar. And then she went on to lose to Amanda Nunes again by split decision. Then she rear naked choke Priscilla Cachoeira.
Right.
So up to that point, she had only two finishes.
Stellar performance. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I guess three. The Holly, Pena, and Cachoeira one, but the Cachoeira one really that shouldn't have happened in the first place. So
yeah.
But yeah. It is what it is, unfortunately. I think that's probably the best way to sum that up.
I agree with Stamina here. Once a fighter becomes a pariah in the fans' eyes, they almost never completely shake that stink. The way people still shit on GDR after all these years is more evidence of this. But I agree with that. But like Drake was saying, I think it's kind of chilled recently. Very good performances change people's eyes, change people's points of views. I guess that's literally the only way that Nico Montano will ever change anybody's point of view is by putting on fantastic performances, because they're not going to change their minds.
This is all, because it's all they think about at the moment, So
yeah, every time that Nico Montano comes up, they automatically think the worst.
Yep, which isn't cool. It sucks. You never want that. So, especially when it's like not self-inflicted. Like if you're not like a piece of shit or anything, like, some people in MMA, there's plenty to choose from. But somebody who's a genuinely good person, which I think Nico is. So it's a bummer. But
speaking of piece of shit, TJ Dillashaw is coming back sometime soon, right? When are they gonna make a fight for him? I'm ready to see him fight again.
I would imagine pretty soon, but I don't know. I know that was very random, huh, Moni? I didn't expect it. Did you just see something about TJ or something?
No, no. When I
Okay.
think of piece of shit, and you said piece of shit in MMA, and I thought piece of shit in MMA. Oh, TJ Dillashaw,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
the snake.
The sneaky snake, yes. A little
Could have went John
snake.
Jones, but I actually like him.
Well, these are both good choices. So, all right, to not pieces of shit. Let's move on to some good news, though. We got some new blood in the UFC. You
Yes, I like this. It's about time though. You know that the UFC starts bringing in these Asian fighters, and here's one of them. Here's one of UFC signs 24-year-old Chinese prospect Long Na, 14-4. Her last two fights have been at strawweight, but she's primarily fought at flyweight.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. Liang Na. Yeah, it's sounding like, from what I'm seeing, and I don't know my centimeters and all that, but I think that she will be sticking with strawweight. And she's been doing a lot of work, and I guess graduated from the program stuff that they do at the UFC Shanghai Performance Institute.
It's
I wish
amazing.
I knew a little bit more about that when I
They
wanted to
got
go
two.
there.
They a man and
This is
and then her.
two sides. Yeah. Arilok Wang, I think is how you say his name, but the
Sure.
Mongolian murderer.
Yeah,
Fantastic nickname.
I love that. And then what's her nickname is something dragon, right?
Dragon Girl.
Dragon Girl. Yeah, Dragon Girl.
Yeah. So, and yeah, great point. Stamina of new signings we like always, but we don't need more. We don't need more 115ers. But hey,
We
we'll
want
take
more.
them.
I
We'll
want
take
more.
it.
Give us more.
Yeah.
The rich get richer.
The rich get richer. Yeah, man. Her last two wins at strawweight, both arm bars. Not the greatest competition or anything, but hey, he'll take it. It was a tough year and everything. 4-fight winning streak. She's got notable losses for the most part. I mean, fucking Juliana Velasquez. That's not a bad person to lose to, and that was actually in her one and only Bellator fight that Na did have. When was that? In 2017. So a couple of years ago, and then before that, lost to Shakarova, and then the other one, Maria Agapova. These are all notable, decent people. Not bad losses, especially when she's only 24, and these happened a couple of years ago. And then Kui Yan, who is another great Chinese prospect. That was her last loss in 2018. So Liang Na is definitely a very good, solid, well-rounded fighter, a finishing machine. She really has plenty of finishes to her name. And if you've seen her fight, she's just very fun to watch. And this is awesome. I love the variety and just the fact that they're willing to, I guess, make this signing during this time in the world. If it, sure, I'll take it.
Kind of gives me hope that if they're signing Chinese fighters, maybe they will actually put Chinese fighters on cards. Meaning, maybe Wei Li Zhang will get a fucking fight.
Maybe something's in the works. Maybe we're close.
Maybe we're gonna get a Chinese card.
Yeah, and that's the speculation.
I want it. I love seeing the speculation of a China event. I don't want speculation anymore. I want fucking facts.
Give me answers.
Give the answers to us, especially when it comes to Wei Li Zhang.
Well, that's the funny thing too, is generally I want to say like 95% of cases when the UFC signs somebody, generally 95% of the time, roughly 90 to 95, it means that they're working on a fight at the same time.
Right.
If they're not already just signing them directly into a fight. It's pretty rare that they just sign them like, all right, we'll get you in and we'll work on it later. So they didn't announce a fight for either of the fighters brought in here, but safe to assume they have things in mind, right?
I'm hoping that it's an event in China. I really am hoping. Maybe not China, but maybe somewhere in Asia. I don't know what is going on in China as far as like COVID and stuff like that, but I mean,
It's getting better.
one is going, Ryzen's going. So I mean, why can't the UFC put on an event? You know, especially since they have that UFC PI in China. Why can't they do the same exact thing that they've been doing in the Vegas PI?
Yeah, no, exactly, and that was the plan. They were going to have the Contender Series
Right.
in that PI, and that PI is big and fancy, you guys.
Dude, it's massive. Like,
It
you
is.
think, if you've seen like the videos and the pictures of the Vegas one,
Yeah,
man, the China one blows the Vegas one fucking out of the world. It's fucking crazy, dude.
yeah, it is quite nice. So yeah, I think that this is a potentially, good sign for more than just these fighters, right?
I
So
mean, yeah, I would hope that they're really putting cards together at this point. You know,
yeah,
I really do. I'm leaning toward thinking that's probably what is happening.
yeah, it's I'm sure we'll find out soon, hopefully, because again with the cases of signings, like she probably, well, not as well as Arilla Quang, they probably got signed like a week ago at least. Like they've probably been signed technically for a matter of days now, but they just announced it now. So
Yeah.
I mean, they already have the fucking graphics up and everything. So, like it's I think things are probably in motion for sure. So
Yep.
hopefully
It's exciting.
news is coming. Yeah, it is very exciting. And, congratulations to both of them. Excited to see who they get matched up with first. Both exciting fighters, not just
I'm surprised that they didn't sign more than just two though.
yeah. And that's I'm
And
glad.
maybe we'll get more announcements in the coming days. Maybe they're building.
True.
Maybe they're building up to something.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because I actually do have the press release right in front of me from the second UFC Combine thing that they did that, both of these fighters were involved in. And so looking back at it here, it says that here, I'm not going to read off all the names, but the number of people that were involved in this second Academy season that they did there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men's fighters. So they just signed one out of this bunch, which was Arilla Quang or Eroi Keelang. I'm trying to get his name right. And then as of the female fighters, 1, 2, 3, 4, and obviously one of those was Na. And then even the last woman to beat her, Yan Kui, who I think should definitely get signed here very soon as well if she isn't already being worked on. So in total, that's 10 fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. And Moni mentions she hopes for the Rose fight rather than Esparza. How do you feel about that, Steve?
I mean, no, yeah, I'm a fan of Esparza, but I'm realistic as well. Of course I want to see Whaley and Rose go. Yeah, I want to see that fight. Fuck yeah, I'm in on that 100%. I don't think that Esparza necessarily deserves a title shot right now. No, I don't. But I mean, would I be happy for her? Of course I would be happy for her. I'm a fan. But I want to see Rose and Whaley.
I want to see Whaley, period. That's where that sentence ends. That's where that sentence ends, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yep, put her in there against Hannah Cyphers. Fuck it.
That's like the matchup that the masses want to see. And I'm assuming you would assume that the UFC is really trying to work on that fight because they know that's what everybody wants to fucking see at this point. They're in tune with what social media is saying. Why wouldn't they make that fight? I don't know. I don't know what the holdup is. I don't know if it's Rose or if it's Whaley or if it's fucking both or if it's COVID or if it's fucking a destination we don't know. We have no fucking idea. It needs to fucking happen. because she hasn't fought since March. If she doesn't fight in a whole year, that's not a good look. That's not a good look.
No, not great at all. So, all right. One more piece of business to take care of tonight, you guys, and nothing too big, but fairly notable to fighters who are recognizable. So we got some news for them coming up in March.
Yeah, so Emily King and Kayla Haracho will fight on March 5th at Icon number 5. We don't know where it's at, but Icon has been going to Mexico lately, so I would assume maybe Mexico again. Kayla's last fight was in Mexico.
Was this Biloxi?
Oh, was it in Miss?
I guess so.
Is that what that says?
Biloxi Civic Center. So.
Biloxi Civic Center, Biloxi, Mississippi or Missouri?
Yeah, I'm looking it up real quick. Yes.
Yes, to which one?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Yeah. Yes, Mississippi. Okay. So actually, Icon's coming to America.
All right.
Will we see? Young Frank Mir's daughter on this card as well?
I would imagine she's seeming like she wants to be pretty active. But this is an interesting fight, though, because, of course, people will remember Emily King from Bellator, who got that big upset win over Ava Knight and then just fought terrible game plan against Carrie Melendez. It didn't work out very well for her whatsoever, but she brought the fight to Carrie, let's put it that way. And then Kayla Haracho has been somebody who's a very notable prospect who's been around. I feel like she's been around for a decent bit now, but has yet to. She's still working. She's still climbing the ladder to get her opportunities and everything. And I think, was she on Contender Series, or was she supposed to be on it?
No, she was on. What was she on?
She found Stamina's weakness, though.
Yes, yes. Stamina's a redhead lover. You like the red.
That's funny.
Okay.
Let's see.
I see you.
She
was on. She was on a tournament. It was in like Florida or something like that.
Okay.
Can't remember. Let me look it up. I'll look it up right now. But it wasn't Contender. She wasn't on the Contender Series.
No. For some reason, I thought she was linked to it for some reason.
Was she supposed to? I don't think that she was.
I fucking thought so.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Either way, it's she had a pretty lengthy amateur career, 8 fights, 8 or 9 fights, I believe, but been around for a while doing that thing.
She was on something called The Fighter Season 2.
Okay.
And that was a tournament, I guess. There's exhibition bouts. And then she went on to win. She went on to win her first pro fight, and then she lost 2 in a row. And then she went to Icon, and she got two wins.
Yeah, the last 2 events.
In 2020, yeah. At the very end of 2020, in November and then December.
Yeah, both finishes.
Yep.
Good activity.
Rear naked choke, and then won by punches.
Yeah, and she's, it feels like she's younger than she is, but like I think she still has, some time in the sport, and training with ATT and everything.
Yeah.
Of course, that's always a good spot. We've seen her featured on, I think, the Embeddeds and everything. Like,
I had talked to her about doing an MMA Inc. episode. It just never came to fruition. I'm gonna try again. Now that I know Stamina has a thing for her, I'm really gonna try to do the MMA Inc. episode with Kayla.
Yeah, got to get it in before the fight.
When's her fight? March 5th? Yeah.
March 5th.
I'll hit her up. Yep.
Very possible. So, yeah, this will be an interesting one. I don't know. I could see it going either way, but of course, Kayla's got the momentum at the moment. We always like to talk about momentum in, most sports really, but in MMA can be a big thing. Emily King looking to rebound though off of a not great loss. So
she's a good fighter.
Yeah, I mean they both have there are things to like about them in and out of the cage, obviously. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. I don't know. I have no picks right now. I'm not gonna make a pick this early, but should be interesting. The gap in the market, says Moni. Emily King is a very nice lady. I remember she had plenty to say in her post-fight press conference after that Ava Knight win. It was kind of fun. So, yeah, look forward to that fight. We will see if the young Bellamere also gets slotted onto that card, which, if it's in America, why wouldn't she try to get on it? So,
I would assume that we will see Bellamere on the card.
Yep. So, all right, you guys, we actually have nothing to preview this week outside of, I guess, the Tabitha Ricci fight, which we already previewed. So we pretty much gave as much as it
ends quick.
It will be quick. You actually didn't say how quickly you thought it would end.
I think it ends fucking within at least 2 minutes. I think it's over, dude. She's gonna get a lock on her and fucking it's over.
All right.
It's done. It's a wrap. It's a fucking wrap, dude. She's gonna wrap her up.
All right, there it is. I hope you like that, Alex. That was for you, of course. So, that is it for the show today, you guys. Good stuff as always. Appreciate you joining us here. Don't forget to follow us, like, share, and subscribe. All that good stuff. If you don't already, at Drake Riggs _, at Steve K _MMA, at the Scrap News. Subscribe to the channels, yada yada. Steve, man, I know you teased the MMA Inks last week. You teased the return of the Fanboy podcast, yesterday or whatever? It's out. All right.
Out. Fanboy MMA podcast. You can go look at it or listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. It will be there. Fanboy MMA podcast by Steve King. It's about 49 minutes. There's a rant at the end where I talk a little bit of shit to Dana White about streaming. So, yeah, it's back.
Reason enough to watch.
It's back. I'm actually really happy with how many listeners I got. I wasn't really expecting that because I haven't done it in a very long time.
Since he had me on, probably.
Yeah, that's when we fucking took a dive.
Well, then we jump back on this show. So
then we started the show and started climbing up again. But yeah, that's MMA Inc. I have an interview coming up, setting it up on Friday, hopefully Friday, Saturday, something like that. The fighter that I was supposed to interview is having surgery, so she cannot do the interview. But it happens, and we'll link it back up sometime.
Did you have news to share, or did I get mixed up on the tweets that I saw? Somebody asked you for an update on something.
Nico Montano.
Oh, okay. I thought it was that other thing we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no, that was for Aaron. The Nico Montano thing was for Aaron.
Right. All right. So,
and you?
For me, I actually have so many things that I wanted to write them down today. So, plugs are coming at you guys. As I already alluded to, spoke to Tyler Santos this week, and that will be coming to you shortly at SCMP MMA. Good stuff with the number 13 ranked flyweight contender, of course. And then Shi Ming, just spoke to her. I spoke to her, what was that, last week as well, and just dropped that today on mymmanews.com. Really fantastic conversation with one of the top prospects out of China. Great atomweight fighter. Went 4-0 in 2020 at strawweight. So she said that was a little bit difficult for her, but got the job done, of course. Fantastic insight to the Chinese MMA scene. You guys, honestly, if you're very interested in how that stuff kind of operates over there, really interesting to hear from her about it and just get her thoughts on all that and her journey, of course, because she's got a unique story a little bit and just a great personality and a fun gal who her English is pretty solid. So that was good stuff there.
It's always good.
Plenty to digest with that one. Check it out. I also spoke to Norma Dumont, who just got that fight landed with Bea Malecki. That will be coming out probably this
Marketable.
Speaking of marketable fight. So good stuff with Norma. Had plenty to chat about there. Some interesting tidbits of just about getting to the UFC and all that fun stuff. Also spoke to Alexander Romanov. Undefeated heavyweight, 13-0, King Kong. That guy, I think, can go pretty far in the division. Exciting to see what is next for him. It doesn't have anything lined up yet, but he's hoping for March as well. So stay tuned for that. Also expecting to drop this week all the stuff. Guys, I'm planning to have out before the end of the month, which is Sunday. So look forward to that on my Twitter. And then that bantamweight, that piece that I promised about, kind of looking at the collapse of things and, everybody that was the few people that were signed last week, that is going to drop tomorrow. Also, my MMA news. All these things are on my MMA news except for the Santos one. That will be SCMP MMA. Everything on my Twitter, of course. But, of course, I'm leaving last but not least the chat that I did with the one and only, the Washington legend, Danny Lefevre, the literal one-hit wonder, but the best one-hit wonder you could ever ask for. Sat down with him, of course, and that video and article story, all dropped myMMAnews.com on Monday. One of the craziest stories in MMA history. It's straight up a movie. Seeing you guys like just everything about it. Check it out if you haven't. The 1-0 undefeated Danny Lefevre, one fight and done, knocked out 15-1 Benji Roddick in 55 seconds. Danny Lefevre and 55 seconds to last a lifetime. That is the title of the story. Check it out if you have not. Really interesting stuff. And I think that will about conclude for all the plugs today. So, all right. Had a lot to get out there, but thank you, everybody. Steve, let's say goodbye to the people.
All right. So thank you to Alex Moni with the new baby
And she brought a passenger.
Stamina, of course. And Stamina, I will get you that Kayla Haracho MMA Inc. interview. Waleed, Mr. Beckham, thank you for coming.
Yeah, good to see you.
And I think that is it. Everybody else who watches us on a weekly basis, thank you for tuning in to us as always. We appreciate you watching and everybody who comes in live with us and talks to us for 2 hours almost. This one's a little bit shorter. But next week we'll go a little bit longer for sure. Almost 2 hours. We push 2 hours. So thank you to everybody who comes on. And you guys have a great week. We'll catch you guys next Wednesday. Until next time.
Peace.